If you're much younger than me, you might not remember a time when the world made sense, but it used to make sense. Not completely, not totally. We didn't know everything, but there was enough stability that life felt comfortable and happy, and there was hope for the future. We felt like we were still going into the void, but like we would get there safely and together because we had norms. And that is the most important thing. And yes, the postmodernists are like, well, norms are just human constructs. Well, of course they are. Who else would make them up? I mean, who else makes things up for us? Nobody. Everything is a human construct that's in the human world. And we made up the norms. And they were made up out of blood, sweat, and tears, out of hard, we don't cheat on your wife. Well, for thousands of years, couples were cheating on each other because we were all polymorphous. That's, everybody thinks that's a new thing. It's not. It's old as it can be. And people were killing each other all the time over cheating somebody else, sleeping with their girl, or their girl sleeping with somebody else. So we said, listen, let's try to just stick with having a relationship with one person. That way the kids will be looked after. So much will go so much better if we create that norm. And so we did. And of course, it wasn't perfect. A lot of people couldn't handle it, but it was a norm that everybody moved towards, and it kept society strong. It gave us a sense of who we were and what we were trying to do. And it worked. It was a lot better for kids than just having, a mother by herself, fending for herself. If you had the stable income of the father where you could go out and work and bring in good money, you had a nice house, you had masculine and feminine represented in the home so the child could learn from both of them. There was wonderful, wonderful things about it. And was it abused and done incorrectly and sometimes a horror show? Mine was particularly, but yes, it was, because it's human beings and they mess up everything. But having the norms gave us an understanding of who we were, and it made things better than when we were just sleeping with whoever we wanted and everybody was killing each other. And it was an improvement. It settled things down. It made things calmer. It's just like don't steal. Like, who really owns anything? Well, no one. Owning something is a human construct. And then you get to keep stuff, and then you have to have a norm that says you don't steal, or the whole construct of private property doesn't work. And so you create these norms, and then people get to amass stuff, and it's a lot more pleasant to live when you have more than one. You can have 5 or 6 shirts and a car and all this stuff, because people don't just come steal it. But if people were just stealing things, you couldn't amass enough stuff to create the comfort level that we live in. And that was, there's 2 norms. Private property, made up, not a real thing. Don't steal, made up, not a real thing, but they work. And so we have to create norms if we want some kind of stability. And I lived in a world full of norms, and I was young. And of course, the fun thing is to rail against the norms and change them just a little bit. But now what we've done is destroyed them. And if you bring them back, and it'll take time, you're going to be surprised how nice it is to live on this planet.